channel.
Hello guys, a beautiful morning to you and welcome to the channel Final, which is a channel that keeps you fresh and updated concerning sport-like related stories from fans' reaction to pre and post-match analysis and of course in-depth match analysis. I'm with my guys this morning, Ugochukwu and AY Baba and myself, Official Ola. And I'll be kind enough to join us across all social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, of course our YouTube page at Final Whistle 931. Yes guys, we have fresh news concerning the Apex body of the Super Eagles. That is our coach Chelle. We are hearing strong news that is back in Europe to consult with Nigeria, consult with Super Eagles foreign-based players. You understand? You know that's how he kickstarted his whole career as the Super Eagles coach, going to Ligue 1, the Premier League, the Italian Serie A, and we are hearing strong sources that is back in that side, possibly to convince new players to come into the situation. Ugochukwu, considering the fact that Chelle actually draw his last 23-man list, of which we saw new players the likes of Papa Daniel, Mustafa, Jordan, Igor Ogbu. It's as if this man is not satisfied with what he has done and he feels that new players need to come into the ranks.
Yes, this has shown someone that is determined and dedicated to do his job. Getting 4 points out of possible 6. I think an average coach or a coach that is not purpose-driven would sit back, relax, and say, I'm doing well. Yeah. But he's still saying, no, we can do more. We can do better. I think it means we are with someone that is quite good. So going to Europe and to talk with players that are eligible to play for Nigeria, I think there is need for that. We've talked about how we need a revamp of the entire Super Eagles apart from the defending sector. We have certain players that are their age, they are supposed to come from the bench. Moses Simon, for example, we saw that player in the both legs. They are already weak. So I think especially when we talk about the World Cup. If it's AFCON, I no get problem. But World Cup is a different ball game entirely. So I think from sources from Guardian newspaper said he went to talk with the likes of Nwaneri, my boy. And I'm like, yeah, I would love that. Because you know what he brings? That bite. Purposeful dribble. You get. I think it is a very, very good one. I hope to see some of these good guys come on board. Like the last time we saw a coach do this was Genetro, and Chelle is I think he has started the right thing. AY, what do you think about this?
I still maintain my stand as far as the last time conversation about this is concerned. I feel like it's a waste of time and resources.
Okay,
it's a big waste of time and resources. I don't think you have any business doing in Europe for now.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's just a waste of time and resources, and I feel like no disrespect to Nwaneri, he's a good player. Doing fantastically well for his club side. I think at his age.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very good lad. If he gets to play for the Super Eagles, it's a good addition for us. But I think Chelle going to Europe is a waste of time and resources, like I said. But I wouldn't blame him. I think the system does not create an avenue for him to have other options, which is bad for us. Are we aware there's an under 17 AFCON going on now? Most of us are not, because we didn't qualify. That is what Chelle is supposed to be watching by now. So how do we integrate our under 17 and under 20 into the Super Eagles? Now we have built our football round solely depending on players from abroad. How long can we sustain that?
Culture is dying. Sir.
How long can we sustain that? Everybody's in Morocco. The journey towards their young lads. Okay, now let's look at the crops of the Super Eagles that we have. The only person that I can say place in Nwaneri's wing is Chukwueze. That's the only traditional left player that we have. Yeah. That's the only player now, Samuel Chukwueze. So are we saying there are no players all across Nigeria that can actually fill the void? No, if we know that this guy is not giving us what we want, that we have to not depend on Nwaneri. So the system is supposed to be jet. No, I'm not saying we should actually rule out the fact that players abroad should not be called, but at least create an avenue that is sustainable for everybody. That is sustainable, that you can actually based on.
I understand where you're coming from, but I'm looking at an instant of instantaneous effects. If we want to start doing the Nigerian thing, we discussed yesterday, we cried about what happened to the Vistas, what's happening in MPFL. So can we wait for them to fix the league together before we start?
No, I'm not talking about. It's not just the leagues.
I didn't mention the league now. Under 17 tournament where we are crashing out. We've talked about how bad that is going. I don't understand. the Coach Zuberu used to be a very, very powerful force coaching the boys. We've had Iheanacho come from the Isaac Success. We've had Taiwo Awoniyi, Victor Osimhen, Samuel Chukwueze, a lot of good players. But it's just so sad that I think politics has taken over our grassroots football.
On the 17 especially.
But I'm looking at to help this man succeed, at least for now. Instant change.
You are saying this is instant. I'm telling you, I'm seeing that's a tradition. You are seeing it's instant. It's going towards this side. It did start from Chelle now. We talk about Nwaneri, and it looks like the pattern that everybody will keep on
traveling out to Europe to go check.
And that's why it bothers me. That's why I'm calling them out to do something about it. You can't just be sleeping. NSC and NFF. You can't be sleeping. Women AFCON is starting by July. They don't have a coach yet. Women AFCON is starting by July. They don't have a coach. There's no information. There's no friendlies. Nothing is happening. No, and you ask yourself, are we okay now? What are they doing? Okay, now we are waiting for somebody to groom a player for us to go and hijack.
No, fight over him.
To go and fight over him after developing a player because he bears your name. So how long would we keep doing that? So I feel that was why I said it's a waste of time and resources. He will have actually sat here and then probably network whatever he wants to do across Europe. You were in Europe before. This is not the first time you are going. You will have probably done that in proxy. You understand? But there's a lot of time to put all of these things together. Not by just going to Europe. That's what I'm saying. The system that we have put in place is what he has no choice to just other than to follow. Yeah. Because we've seen the likes of Nwaneri plow that, and it didn't work. That was why we had to let Nwaneri go. No, you get? Ugochukwu, let me see this off now. Ugochukwu, and I think you guys will agree with me. Morocco that is getting it right. Are they depending on the players from outside Morocco?
No. Most of them are.
I'm not going across. I'm going across African continent. Yeah. Morocco that is getting. Are they going outside? And look at their Hondas. Look at everything is been doing well.
Egypt.
So how long do we keep
our thing? I don't know, man.
So I think that tradition is it should. I'm not saying they should not follow it, but at least let's have a working system that allows both locally groomed and internationally groomed players to be able to find a level playing ground for themselves into the national team. That's the best way. I think that's the best way. How did we get Samuel Chukwueze? Was he in Europe?
How did we get Osimhen?
Was he in Europe? It was never in Europe.
This matter deep, sha. You understand? When you started AY, I wanted to beg to differ that okay, what would you expect him to do? But I haven't explained yourself to an extent. I understand the fact that okay, yes.
This guy is into a tradition.
Our culture is slowly going down because I've always argued that for every successful era of the Super Eagles bar, mixed with MPFL players, mixed with local players, you understand, they end up getting the name even before they are exported outside the continent and everything. But now we go to import, and when we import this players, they don't know what it means, what it takes. You understand? That's why we see sometimes some of us complain of Iwobi's antique is because he doesn't know. Let's not use the word care. He doesn't understand.
That's what
He doesn't understand what it means. Unlike the when Sunday Basco goal, the passion.
Osimhen we don't play under 17.
He knows when Mikel Obi was paying the bills of the Olympic team. It's because he understands the culture and everything.
Before then, watching the Super Eagles while growing up will give you a sense
of these goosebumps, all those things. But this guy don't understand.
If Super Eagles they want play game, the whole area go. Everybody go just the tension go day ground because we are playing. So I think a lot has actually changed. But I'm looking at how to do as much as AY's angle is a very valid angle.
You have to keep following the ladder.
I'm looking for instantaneous breakthrough.
That's one miracle.
Instant. I know we like for you.
I understand. Even when you don't talk, I understand. So our viewers, AY is not a fan of Chelle traveling to Europe and all that.
Is it because it's my boy, Nwaneri?
No, it's not because of that.
We will not go to Europe because of.
You have to.
We will not go to Europe because of just one player.
I do.
I know. So in fact, I really want Ethan.
Yes,
he's a good player. I really want him.
It's good.
But I'm saying we should not continue like this.
Yes, it needs to stop for the culture of the Super Eagles. Yes, so AY is not a fan of Chelle traveling to Europe to do. You can do that by proxy instead, and you can also look at home. You understand? Look for the ball. And NSC, NFF, develop the league,
Like
create an avenue for Chelle to see local players. You understand? If we had qualified for under 17, like he said, that's an avenue to scout
Yes,
one or two
now,
players.
we just watch under 17.
We watch under
easily.
17, they give us well.
Yeah.
And Ugochukwu is saying instant. But that's by the way. Feel free to the comment section and share opinion concerning Chelle back in Europe to watch the likes of Nwaneri to Saudi Arabia to convince them of the Super Eagles project. That's our time. We see you guys.